Hey guys, welcome back to Indiebnb. Today's episode is sponsored by David Shapiro Around Atlanta Realty. David Shapiro Realty is the best in the business around Atlanta. He knows the perimeter. He knows outside the perimeter. He knows North Georgia. Hell, he'll get you a house anywhere that you want or looking for in the state of GA. David Shapiro Realty, check him out. David Shapiro Realty, just Google that. He'll be able to hook you up any which way you need.
Tonight, we've got Jennie Lawless from Los Angeles on the podcast. She's just released an EP called I'm Here to Make Friends. Very dreamy artist and big Candy fan.
Was very excited about her and her Candy love. We're going to get that tape motherfucking rolling.
Welcome back to Indiebnb. We're joined today by Miss Jennie Lawless from Los Angeles. How are you today?
I'm doing so well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we are so pumped to have you on here. I can't remember if it was, Grant and I can never remember how we discovered the artists that we have on here, but one of us came across your song, I Want to Believe, and we just got hooked. So let's start there. What do you want to believe?
So this song is kind of like my tribute to all things spiritual. I've ghosts, tarot, aliens, all of the above. I've always been kind of a skeptic, but also deep down, I really want something supernatural to happen to me so that I can believe in it. And so far, I'm trying to gather as much evidence as I can for it to be real, but nothing has stood out to me as believable from a personal experience standpoint. But I even one year I did a ghost tour in downtown Minneapolis. I led the ghost tour, and I learned all the scary stories about downtown Minneapolis, and I would ask all the participants of the tour to tell me their own personal ghost stories. So I've been gathering all of this data, I guess, because I really want to believe, but I'm still such a skeptic. But also I've gotten more into the spiritual side of life as I've gotten older. Tarot is a great example of that. Astrology. I live in LA. People are obsessed with astrology in LA, especially in the queer community. And I think that's true everywhere in the queer community. People just want to know what your big three are: your moon, your sun, and your rising, I think is what they are. So yeah, that's what the song's about. Long story short.
I would have never gathered that literally from that song. So that's why we love doing this podcast. And also never thought Minneapolis was a haunted city, apparently.
Well, somebody said something really amazing to me in Minneapolis. It was a bartender in a so-called haunted bar, and he said, if there are ghosts anywhere, there are ghosts everywhere. And I love that perspective, because it's oh yeah, shit, duh. So many people have died. If ghosts are real, then they're everywhere. So if you want to believe in ghosts, then it's an exciting prospect.
Yeah, I mean, there's people everywhere, so why wouldn't there be ghosts everywhere? Seems logical. So yeah, just doing some basic research on you, saw that you were originally from Chicago, moved to Minneapolis, and then have now gotten to LA. So what kind of took you from Chicago to Minneapolis to LA?
Minneapolis felt like a really good stepping stone city. Chicago, well, first of all, I fell in love with somebody from Minneapolis. So that was the main reason. And I moved there to see if that relationship could work out. And 10 years later, it has still worked out. Yay!
Nice.
It's great. But also, Chicago felt like the music scene is very disparate. there are so many different pockets, like really cool pockets of music happening there. But the only people I knew in the music scene in Chicago were doing something very different from what I was trying to write. And I felt like I didn't have a place there, or like a footing to start to build something of my own. And so Minneapolis is smaller and you can just kind of jump right in. Like once you have an idea, as soon as you know a booker or somebody who's in a band, like it's surprisingly really easy to get a show booked or a band put together. So I had a band called Warehouse Eyes when I first moved to Minneapolis, and that was the beginnings of me doing my own non-classical, non-jazz music thing. And that was until I graduated college. So I was like 23, 22 or 23.
Okay, so it sounds like you had a sort of a classical background in getting into music.
Yeah, well, it started with jazz, and then I decided to go to school for classical voice, because I thought it would be, I don't know, better for my background to have like the classical foundation. And then I realized I needed to throw a lot of that information into the garbage. Not into the garbage, but a lot of my training I just kind of had to forget about in order to do my own thing, because it ended up being kind of stifling for creative goals that I had. I don't regret doing it, but it's definitely not been something that I want to return to. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, it sounds like it. We've talked to people before that had some classical training. They said it just it almost leads you down a scholarly side of music as opposed to a creative side, and it boxes you in. So
yes, that's definitely true.
I can see where that wouldn't, I mean, not there's anything wrong with having a scholarly side, but it doesn't seem like you're not going to be out playing shows on like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday night on a scholarly side of it, unless you're trying to be in a symphony.
Yeah, just recitals and like operas, if that's the route you want to go. And I never really wanted to be an opera singer, even though that's kind of what my training was leading me towards. And so, yeah, I think realizing that there's not a lot of creative room in the classical world unless you're a composer, which is not what I studied. Kind of like was a hard truth to swallow once I had already done like 3 out of my 4 years of college. But I like at that point, I was like, you know what? Let's move on. Let's finish this out, do what we came here to do, and then figure it out from there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I finished my degree and didn't do anything with it, classically speaking. Absolutely nothing.
I imagine it can't hurt though, having that knowledge back there in the back of your mind.
No, yeah, I'm sure it's only helped, Yeah. If anything, just the desire to do the complete opposite, that strong, intense opposition wouldn't be within me if I hadn't done it.
Yeah. So, moving into that opposite side of it, what is the creative process for you, writing process for you? How do you come up with your songs? Is it a lyric most of the time, or do you have some kind of instrumental? I mean, people do it all kinds of ways.
Yeah. I always try to challenge myself to do it different ways, but the thing that comes to me most naturally is lyric and melody at the same time. And then I try to fit chords in underneath it, and it will just be like I'll just block out like simple chords on my keyboard to figure out a harmonic structure, however the melody dictates, and then sometimes that ends up changing the melody a little bit, but yeah, it's definitely lyrically driven for me. Sometimes I like to write songs to other people's songs. like Stephen Merritt from the Magnetic Fields used to write all of his songs in really loud gay bars. And that's something that really inspires me because it sounds so difficult. Like, how on earth were you writing these cutesy little pop songs? These like simple, like, I don't, do you know the Magnetic Fields? Pretty
I
classic,
don't
like
personally know.
60, 69 love songs. Okay, that's gonna be one of my three.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, highly recommend. Stephen Merritt is such a cool songwriter, very inspiring, super, super simple pop songs that are definitely lyrically driven. And yeah, when I learned that little tidbit of information, I tried to do it. And it's not like the first thing that I go to when I try to write a new song, but like if I happen to be alone in a public space and I'm feeling like the quirky star of my own movie, then I try to do something like that.
So what were you mentioned Warehouse Eyes earlier. Was that more of a full band, like where everyone was collaborating, or was that more still a solo project?
That was me and my partner.
Okay.
Co-writing together, but it started out with just his songs. And then toward the end of that project, I started to try to write more, but not having had the experience of being a band leader, it was really difficult for us to try to change those roles, which is why ultimately we decided to just disband that project. And that is how Jennie Lawless was born. Because that was my Facebook name, actually, for a really long time. Lawless is not my real last name. My real last name is Lallam. It's a very close. But everybody in Minneapolis, when I moved there, just thought that was my real name. So they would put that on bills or like on interviews and stuff that I would play or record or whatever. And so I was like, I guess this is who I am to Minneapolis. So it seems simple enough to be that. But the name's inspired by Lucy Lawless, aka Xena Warrior Princess. I don't know if you remember that show from the 90s.
Oh yeah.
It's great. I recently returned to the pilot episode of that show because they put it back on Netflix like maybe a couple years ago, and it was so cringy in the
Didn't
best.
hold up?
No, I think it did. But it was very cringy still. Like, because it was so 90s, like medium budget TV production. Like, I can't explain it, but it was cringy. And I loved it. Yeah, so that's Jennie Lawless. Warehouse Eyes is kind of like, it was a good place for me to kind of grow as a performer, as a non-classical performer. I got to like play keys and sing at the same time, which I never did before that. And I mean, I did alone, like in a room where no one could see me, but like never on stage. And so I learned a lot of lessons, like compounded into one project, and including like how to be in a studio and record an EP, because we recorded like 2 different EPs with that band. And I was a singer and I played keys, and my partner also played keys. And then we had a bass player, guitar player, and a drummer. So it was a pretty big project, and we played a lot of shows. We did a couple tours. We even played Atlanta once.
Where'd you play?
What is it called? I don't remember.
How big was it?
It was a medium size, like a small to medium sized venue. And there was a restaurant on one side and a venue connected.
Terminal West.
Maybe. Let me Google
Terminal
that.
West or
It was cool, actually.
I think that's Terminal West. The restaurant on one side, you get the station side piece right there, and then there's a wedding venue in there.
I don't know about a wedding venue.
Oh, it could have been Smith's.
Could have been Smith's. Yeah, Smith's Old Bar.
Smith's sounds more like it. I think it was Smith's.
That's Grant's like favorite place on the earth.
That is that's a place I spend a lot of time.
I'm looking at the pictures. Yeah, that is where we played. We played at Smith's Old Bar.
Oh man, I live right down the street from Smith's Old Bar now. I'm a big Smith's guy.
That's awesome. I love that you figured out that venue so fast. That is so cool. Yeah, that would have taken me a million years to like search through old posters. Because that would have been like, I think 2015 or something that I played there.
Oh man.
Yeah, touring is hard for indie artists because it's just a money suck. You're lucky if you break even.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you're playing shows in towns where people don't really know who you are. And so you're just like this rando stranger coming through, hoping that like 10 people will come through and pay a cover. But
See, that's part of what this whole podcast is about. It's not only, the dream of giving you a place to stay where you can save a few bucks on not having to get a hotel or having to sleep in a van, but it's also to help you get some more listeners. So, anytime there's some bands coming soon that we're gonna like, that we've had people on, and we're gonna get as many people as we can to these shows. So, that's
I
something
love
we
that.
like to ask on here is like, what is something that us as Indiebnb can do to help indie artists in any way possible?
Definitely that, like real in-person interactions with people, I think is because there's so much music floating around the internet that like and and there's a lot of really good stuff. Like I'm not trying to say that there's not like a million other really special artists. I think that's what makes finding new music so challenging. So having a curator that you trust, like bringing new music to you or underground music, like I love that. I have certain friends that I reach out to because it can be overwhelming to me to find new music. And I'm like, hey man, like what are some albums you've been listening to lately? And that kind of trust in somebody's taste doesn't like you, it's not the same on a Spotify playlist of Spotify algorithm generated thing. It's just not the same. So yeah, that's amazing if you can actually get people to show up in real life, because once they see you, there's like kind of a dedication. Like we have a relationship now that I've performed for you and you've stood there watching me. And that's a really magical connection. That's like one of my favorite things about being a performer is that spiritual place that we both go to when we let ourselves get lost in the music and in the moment, because it's never the same performance twice.
Yeah. What is like a performance? I mean, obviously it might not have hasn't happened probably for a little bit, but I mean, Jennie Lawless. I mean, what's the vibe whenever I go to a show? I mean, what should I expect? What can I expect from you? Are you, I don't know. I mean, what has it been in the past?
Well, I just played a show in July actually for my EP release, and it was the best show that I've ever had or played, and I put it all together myself, which I've never done before, in a friend's backyard. It's like this huge backyard in Silver Lake. He rents this house with a few other guys, and the yard itself was designed specifically for shows. Basically, the guy who owns the house, who's not my friend, he's a landlord. I think he's some sort of like music manager or something. So he designed the backyard for performances. And I had no idea when I asked him, or when he asked me if I could play. I was like, yeah, you have an amazing yard. Let's do this. And then before I knew it, it was this huge event. There were like 4 performers. Somebody did like a guided sound bath meditation at the beginning. I had 2 tattoo artists doing pop-ups in the yard. Somebody was doing a photo booth. There was a vegan food pop-up, and a friend of mine was bartending, and like it was just very, very special. And everybody there had such a good time. And it was like before the Delta variant started becoming a thing with COVID. And so it was like this really sweet spot of we're doing this again. Like, it's a show and we're here and we're hugging and it's magic. And yeah, it was cool. And I had a 5-piece band, which usually it's just 3 of us. It's me and Kristen and Jamie. Kristen plays drums, Jamie plays bass, I'm on keys, and I use a vocal looper to add some layering to my vocals and harmonies and loops and effects. And I don't play to tracks, but I'm not against it. Someday, if I ever want to play like fully solo, I would be open to that. I used to be anti-tracks, but I don't think that's necessary anymore to be anti-tracks.
No, not at all.
But yeah, this show was great because I had Jamie's boyfriend, Jason, plays guitar and saxophone, and I randomly have a lot of saxophone in my songs, so he learned all of those parts. And my partner Chris was on keys, so I could focus a little bit less on playing and more on singing and just performing. And it was really cool. We did a cover of this viral TikTok, "Here Comes the Boy." Have you heard it? Here comes the boy. Hello, boy. Welcome. There he is. He is here. And it's just this lady singing to her cat, but people duetted it like a million times, and somebody did like beautiful piano arpeggios, and then somebody added like another like jazzy instrument, and it just like kept going forever and forever until there was like an orchestra of people playing. I'll send it to you guys. It's so
that sounds sick.
but we did a live version of that with the saxophone and keys and bass and drums and singing, and it was like the intro to the show. And I'm very grateful to have enough friends that knew that specific reference, so there were a lot of laughs and like just pure screams of joy when it happened, and it made me so happy to be able to do that. And I'll never be able to do it again because that's the world of viral internet. You just can't repeat that stuff. It's a one-time magic thing.
Had to be
There'll
there.
be something new. There'll be something new.
To be there. There will be something new.
You mentioned your EP, "I'm Here to Make Friends." Let's get into that a little bit. What went into deciding to release that, when you released it, and what went into making it?
That EP started during quarantine. Actually, I think there were only 2 songs on that EP that I had written pre-COVID and hadn't recorded anything yet. And so when COVID started, when we realized that we were going to kind of be trapped there for a little while, I started a pod with one of my good friends, Maddie, who produced the EP. And so I was able to have like a second home by being a podmate with him, so I wouldn't lose my mind in a 1-bedroom apartment living with another person. And Matt and I got together like pretty religiously for a while, just working on these songs together, producing them. And then I would go and I would write another one, and sometimes I would demo it out first, like a little recorded demo, and then bring it to the table. And one of them we recorded fully together. That's the very last song on the EP. But all the songs on the EP are pretty much like, they're all about relationships of different types. Like the first one, what is my track listing?
"I'm Getting Younger."
I'm Getting Younger. That's the relationship to self.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, You Remind Me to Change. That's a relationship to a lover. The third one, Notice a Visit, relationship to community. The fourth one is a relationship to a close friend, Annie. And the fifth one is a relationship to grief, to somebody who's passed. And all of it is introspective, like just that time that that a lot of us were forced to have. Like, I feel lucky in a lot of ways that I was forced into unemployment because I was working in restaurants, like bartending. Um, I feel lucky that I didn't have to keep working during those many first months, because I think I really needed some of that quiet introspection, because the world moves so fast and it's so overwhelming, and it's really, really hard to look at yourself in a deep, meaningful way. um, Even as a songwriter, like, I'm already trying to do that. Like, most of my songs are me processing something personal, but like, these these songs in particular are like pretty raw, and I don't know if I would have like taken them to that next level if it hadn't been for all that time just like really staring into a deep ocean of emotion.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel lucky that some art came out of it, because I was really trying not to pressure that. And in fact, the EP was done, like fully done, by December, but I didn't feel ready emotionally to release it, because it felt like there was no reason to do anything, to put anything out, because there was no known future in music. And I was pretty depressed about it, like really depressed. I still get depressed about music like all the time. I cry about it constantly. Music, I don't know if you guys relate.
Well, you can see it pour out in your music. I mean, one of the things that really stuck out to me on that EP was, obviously it's got such a sort of, what I kept coming to was sort of a dreamy feel throughout it. But then you get to Simple Crimes, and I just saw like an organic, like rawer side of you that it felt, not that there wasn't emotion running throughout of it, but I could really feel it in that song, and I can tell that. I
Yeah,
don't know
that
if
one was the one where I really pushed myself, because I never thought I was going to record that song. I still don't know if I'll ever be able to perform it live. It's about my brother that passed away like 10
I'm
years
sorry
ago.
to hear that.
Thank you. And yeah, it's still like, I think grief is something that exists outside of time, where like if something reminds you of a person, it can hit you, and it's suddenly like you're there again, like finding out for the first time that they're gone. And that song, every time that I listen to it, I'm like, whoa, like, holy shit, this just happened. And I don't know how we did it. I don't know how I was able to sing it. And so it gives me this sense of awe, like, where did that come from? And who made this? Which, I think that's the magic of letting yourself get lost in something like music or art, and really allowing yourself to get raw, because it's fucking scary to be vulnerable. It's so scary, but I think it's worth it, because feeling the full range of human emotion is like why we're here.
Yeah, and that
Why?
creates
Yeah,
the human connection between, like,
exactly.
we may experience it for different reasons, but there's someone out there that can relate to that song perfectly. And I just think it's a great song, and one of your best songs that you've released that I've heard. So don't be
Oh,
afraid
thank
of that
you.
song is what I
I
say.
really, I'm so surprised. Like, I'm so surprised to hear that people like that song, because it was so scary for me to put on that record. Like, I thought it would be too intense. So thanks for saying that.
I mean, yeah, it just was uh, not drastic, but it just was a different side of you, and it just really, when I was listening to you, just really stuck out to me. So great song. I love that song.
Thank you. Thanks.
Um,
Thanks for listening so thoughtfully. If it feels crazy to have somebody like know my stuff in that way.
well,
It's
you
really
just keep
special.
making, you put out I Want to Believe, it caught our attention. And then, that's part of this was also Grant and I have just such a love for music and finding new artists. and we just send stuff back and forth to each other. So, you know,
I love that.
We're always trying to like one up each other and be like, oh, check out this person. Like, oh my God, you got to listen to this right now. You know, being able to wear that medal of honor that we were the one to discover it over the other guys. So
I totally relate to that.
Even though, like,
oh, you haven't heard of this person? Well, let me just blow your mind right now.
yeah, most of the time it's a crapshoot. You know, like I just like
Yeah.
stumble across somebody on my Discover Weekly or something, or Grant will do the same.
Yeah, I was talking shit about Spotify the other day, but I totally do use Discover Weekly because you don't always get to have a friend like Grant.
Exactly.
That's sending you stuff.
Exactly. And we have just different enough taste that like we get a pretty broad spectrum. It's not just like we have the same Discover Weekly.
That's cool.
Now there have been ones where like Tash has like put something on there, and I've been like, I was literally putting that on. Like we have like a shared playlist for our like when we do the Instagram posts, and like I've been like literally about to put something on there. He already put it on there. I go, dude, I was about like this song was like in my queue. Like I was about to put this on there when I heard it, and he already hit it on there. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. We're kind of in sync like that. But then also like I like something slower. Tash likes some stuff more punky. Like it's all good that we can kind of vibe off different stuff.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah, we definitely.
That's what's so special about human playlists.
Exactly.
Humans are more diverse than the algorithm.
Making playlists and putting out our song of the day is like the highlight of our day. I don't even know if people check them out, but I know that he and I check them out, and that's all that matters. And like I said, you're always going to have at least 2 fans in Atlanta with me and Grant, so you can take that.
I love that. That's amazing. Actually, my one friend I reach out to for music recommendations moved here from Atlanta. People from Atlanta have good taste.
Something in the water. Must be the Chattahoochee.
Must be that Chattahoochee.
But yeah, with that, I think it might be time to slide on over to Pete Peterson's party pack of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hop in here. I'm gonna get my notebook ready.
This is where we really find out.
Wait, so who's Pete Peterson?
All right, so Pete Peterson, I like kind of created this persona. So if I was ever like, I love like the UFC and fighting, and I go like, I would never fight under my name because my mom wouldn't let me. So like I was like, you know what? I think like if I were to fight, I'd be Pete Stonehands Peterson, and like because my middle name's
Stonehands.
Yeah, it's like you have a nickname. But like I kind of created this Pete Peterson moniker, and like he's a really fast talking guy, you know what I mean? And so like we'll
I love it.
Get it going. So it's
okay.
Like
so I'm about to meet Pete.
Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna meet Pete. I mean, it's Pete's me, but it's Pete. Come on.
Okay.
We're also going to find out who Jennie Lawless really is. These are some
true.
These
questions here.
These questions.
I'm so slow. I'm usually like a really slow responder to questions. So let's see how fast I can answer with my subconscious.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Well, Pete Peterson's party pack questions. 20 questions right in a row. Right now. Here we go. Chips or pretzels?
Chips.
She's a chips girl. All right. Salad or soup?
Soup.
Oh, she likes the hot soup. Here we go. All right. Are you going to have a taco or a burrito?
Taco.
Tacos from California. LA, they love the tacos there.
LA.
Queso or guac?
Guac.
Salsa. Okay.
Used to be queso, but I just really a month ago discovered I'm lactose intolerant.
All right. So now we're on the guac.
Change your answer quickly.
Yeah.
All right. Popcorn or candy when you're at the movie theater? What are you going to?
Oh my God. Popcorn.
All right. This is the land of film.
If it wasn't a movie, I would say candy.
Okay. All right. We'll come back.
Am I allowed to say this, or do I just have to be fast?
No.
Okay.
We love the no.
Okay.
All right. Do you believe in aliens? I think we went over this earlier, but I mean, I just want to make sure we got the correct.
I want to believe.
She wants to believe.
She wants to believe, Grant. Come on.
All right. What about love at first sight?
Yes, I fall in love constantly.
All right, all right. Do you eat donuts or bagels?
Donuts. Well,
All
both,
right.
but
If Jennie Lawless is rolling into a party, are you more likely to do the worm or the robot?
robot.
Robot? All right. Have you ever seen the orange peanuts in the gas station and eaten them? They're called circus peanuts. Do you like them?
I have eaten them on more than one occasion. I don't know how I feel about them.
Dagger in my heart.
You like them?
Oh my God, they're my favorite candy.
I just love candy. I really do. And I don't discriminate. You know,
Okay.
like people love to hate on stuff. I really like Good and Plenty's, which is like a total grandma candy. People
I
have
like
strong feeling. You like Good and Plenty's?
I do. I will eat.
Grant.
I like because I like black licorice. I love.
Me too.
I'm
I
on the. I'm on
really
the train.
love black licorice, but people, when I tell them I like Good and Plenty's, get personally offended. And I'm like,
It's the
what's
same
it to
thing.
you, man?
That's how he is with circus peanuts. We're all.
That's how people get mad. People get mad at me for eating circus peanuts. I showed them my office circus peanuts. They laughed me out of there. But all right,
No, I if you handed me some circus peanuts, I would eat them, and I probably would have fun.
that's what I'm talking about. All right. Do you think robots are going to take over the world?
I fear it.
Okay, but you don't think it's going to happen?
I mean, I think it's very possible because they keep getting smarter, like AI, you know. The more information we feed it, the more it becomes like us. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know if like a Black Mirror future is really gonna happen first before the world burns and we're not around anyway, you know?
Take ourselves out first.
Yeah.
And the robots will probably melt in the fire, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. All right. When you woke up this morning, did you have waffles or pancakes? What would you rather have?
I had neither. When I woke up this morning, I had leftover candy from the movies. Um, I shouldn't have eaten it with my lactose tolerance, but there were some M&M peanuts in the cabinet, and I had 7 M&M peanuts for breakfast. But
Okay.
between waffles and pancakes, otherwise, I would do pancakes, ideally
Pancakes.
with chocolate chips or blueberries.
Okay. All right. Pancakes with something extra. I like that.
Mm.
Would you rather have a night in or a night out on the town?
Night out.
Night out? All right. All right. Are you heading out to a bar or are you more likely to go hit some techno at a club?
Techno. No, I don't really go to the club very often. I like talking. I'm pretty extroverted, so like if I can hear somebody speak, then I'm more likely to be enjoying myself if I can actually have a conversation. But I do love to dance. I really like to dance. So like bar, get to know somebody, hang out, get a little tipsy, then go dance.
I like it. That's a good formula. That's a formula I've followed many times and have had a lot of success with. So
Great
Also done it
formula.
in
What?
He's also done it in reverse.
You done in reverse where you went dancing first and then chilled at a
Then got drunk, then just chilled.
then got drunk after dancing. That's a bold move. I should try it. Actually, I've been thinking maybe it'd be fun to go dancing and not have any alcohol because I don't feel like I don't want to rely on alcohol for social settings. And I don't need it because I'm a bartender and I'm not drunk when I bartend. So I know I'm capable of having a good social interaction without it. But dancing is like, you know, you've got to really lose yourself in the moment and not worry about what people are thinking about you.
You gotta play the right tune for me. I mean, it'll
That's
get going,
exactly what it is. It's got to be the right music.
yeah. All right. Whenever you're serving or whenever you're consuming, I mean, beer or wine, what are you preferring?
Wine is a more recent thing for me.
Okay. All right.
I work at a wine bar, so I'm learning to love it.
Learn to love the wine. All right. I know you mentioned veganism earlier. This question might completely land flat on its face. Do you eat chicken tenders or chicken wings?
if there was a choice, I
Yeah.
think as long as well, I think chicken tenders. If they're like
Good
crispy,
tenders,
you know?
crispy tenders.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, candy corn or candy pumpkins?
Oh, candy corn.
Candy corn. Oh
Yeah.
man, you are a savage. You do like candy. I like that. That's
Yes, I
good.
do.
All right. Would you rather be a ninja or a pirate?
um, a pirate, because ninjas seem like they have to be too disciplined.
We've heard that answer. That
Pirates
is
know how to party.
exactly. All right. Finally, cake or pie?
Cake.
Okay. So you like the icing all over it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I like
fair.
yeah.
No film.
Are you sensing a theme here? I'm a sweet person.
Yeah, you got a sweet tooth. I
Mhm.
am very similar to you.
Yeah, there's very little savory questions on this 20 question list.
I had to take your steak. You know, I don't know how to. I probably should say I probably should add some in, but well, the most savory question of all of them that we ask, this final one is, of course, what bands that we don't know that you know that we ought to know?
Great question. I've got three. One of them we talked about earlier. It was not going to be one of my original three, but I'm throwing it out there since you didn't know. The Magnetic Fields, because they're a classic. They've been around for like at least 20, 30 years. And they have an album called 69 Love Songs, and they're all like really short, super short songs, like 2 minutes probably. So yeah, start there with them. And another band whose album I cannot stop listening to lately, Kate, it's either Kat or Kate LeBon, Catelebon. The album is called Reward. There's horns all over the place, like otherworldly kind of vocals. It's really playful. There's a song called Sad Nudes. She sings about sad nudes in my room. I love that because the songs, they sound out of time in a way because there's not a lot of like synthesized electronic kind of sounds on there, but then you hear like an incredibly modern lyric like that and you're like, whoa, what? This song's from 2019. Oh my god. I would love to see her perform. There's some real magic happening, especially in that record. And then third band is a new-ish project that I play keys in. It's called Nori, Norrie. And their LP is dropping next month, September 10th, I think, if that's a Friday.
Yep.
Yeah, it's my partner's project, and I've heard the songs a million times, and I could hear them a million more times. They're so layered and cinematic and full of depth, and the lyrics are just like next level. Like, talk about being inspired constantly by somebody. Like, it's hard not to feel a little bit lyrically self-conscious around somebody that's that lyrically skilled. So very highly recommend, worth a listen. I think there's a few singles out already for Nori.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we get the Magnetic Fields, Kate LeBon, and Nori as our three here. So we will definitely be checking them out. And if we get some love on our post from them, we will definitely say that, hey, Jennie sent us. So come on the pod.
Come on the pod.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Tash, I'll toss it back to you. Wrap us up here. And
yeah. Well, Jennie, it's been a pleasure having you on. To everyone out there listening, go out, check out Jennie's newest EP, I'm Here to Make Friends. It's, I think, available anywhere that you can listen to music. Also, check out Nori with Jennie on there, rocking the keys. And like I said, just been a pleasure to have you on. And hopefully you can get back on the touring bus, and Grant and I can come scream in your face while you sing to us.
Yes. I would love to meet you guys. You are so much fun. Thank you for having me on. This was really fun.
Thank you.
Of course.
All right.
Thank you.
See you in Atlanta.
See you in Atlanta.
Bye.
Bye.